All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the channel. I know it's been a minute since I've recorded for YouTube, and let's get comfortable. Let's get comfortable. Let's talk about it. This series is going to be called I Moved Back Home to Chase After My Dream Life. And with all that, we're just going to get down to the nitty gritty. So, for the ones who know and the ones who follow, you guys already know that I moved to Florida and I wanted to work for Disney as a photographer since a child. Like that's been the only thing I've always wanted to do. I've wanted to work for Disney, and I didn't know what I wanted to do at first. And as I got older and I started getting into photography and just being a real creative person, I was like, okay, I want to work for Disney. I want to do photography, and like that's it. I want to photograph red carpets for Disney. I want to get invited to events with Disney, and you know, the whole nine. And I've never actually talked about this journey before, so I think we got to go all the way back to the very beginning, and that will be 20 2018. 2018. Yes. Okay. So in 2018, I did my first ever Disney College program. If you guys don't know the Disney College program, it is a program for kids who are either in college or recently graduated from college to go and intern with the company, work in the parks, and get great experience, like fantastic experience, lifetime, life changing experience. You get to meet amazing people, meet some forever friends, get to do some awesome, awesome stuff. I'll never, never tell no one to not do the Disney College program because it changed my life in many, many ways than I could imagine if I didn't do the Disney College program. And so I did the college program in 2018, and I was doing quick service, food and beverage. Not for the week, like not for the week at all. And yeah, I didn't like it. I moved back home after 3 months because I felt like, you know what, this is not for me. We're not doing this. And I moved back home. I instantly regretted it because I was like, I felt like I should have stayed. I should have pushed it out. But that was my first time ever leaving home. So like I didn't go away to college. I did a couple certification programs like here and there. I never went away to like a full university. So that was like my college experience that I felt like I lacked, you know? And it was great. I met some awesome people, and that's actually what started my YouTube career. Like the in my mind, okay, we're still building the YouTube career, but that's what started my love for wanting to vlog and record content in any capacity. And before I even started making content on my phone, I had a Canon G7X, okay, like the first edition. That was like the it camera for vlogging, and it was great. So I moved back home, and then I instantly was like, "Ah, what am I doing here?" Like, and I was depressed for months, like depressed for months. And I applied to go back. And the second time I got accepted into the college program, I got lifeguarding at, hold on, make sure the microphone. I got lifeguarding at Typhoon Lagoon. Okay. I ain't never been a lifeguard before. I tried to be a lifeguard at Key Lime Cove. For the ones who know Key Lime Cove, it's a thing for the Midwest, but it's no longer a thing anymore. Um, I would try to be a lifeguard. I was only like a lifeguard for like a month, and then yeah, yeah. Fast forward. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna be a lifeguard. This is gonna be great. I'm gonna move back to Florida. I had no car at all. I was like, just had turned a fresh 21, um, and something had told me to not go. Something told me, wait it out. You don't really want to be a lifeguard. You just want to go back to live in Florida and to work for Disney. So I didn't go, and thank God I didn't go because if I would have went, literally COVID happened. So I didn't go, and I ended up for my 22nd birthday. My mom took me to Vegas, and then we came back from Vegas, and literally like 2 weeks later, the whole world had shut down. Whole world shut down. People, Disney shut down. They sent everybody home. So if I would have went, I would have been sent. I would have been coming right back home. Imagine like the money that I would spend to get there, like the depression of like, okay, I'm back, and like now I have to go right back home and don't know how long I'm gonna be home for. And then 2 years later, that's when like the company opened back up. So there's have been just like a lot of ups and downs in my career journey with wanting to work for Disney, but I still never gave up on it. I still kept going. I still kept pushing. I still kept dreaming. That little boy inside who grew up going to the Disney parks and just loved like the feeling of like when you walk through the gates of Magic Kingdom and you look at the castle, that warm, fuzzy feeling that anything you were going through in life just it leaves at the gates. It leaves. Like it truly does. It's like whatever you are going through in life, go to Disney and you tell me how much better you feel, how at peace you feel, and like, there was a lot of stuff going on in my life, like at the time, you know, to where I felt like that was my escape and that was a place where I was always happy and I just wanted that happiness to stay and to never leave. And for a while I had let it go because I was like, you know what? I had got a girlfriend and, you know, I was in a completely different place of just like pushing things aside and trying to find an ounce of happiness in the place of my life that I was in. And then there just was still like that like unfulfillment. It was still that unfulfillment. And fast forward to 2024. Yes, 2024. I will never forget the day I was jobless. Um I was depressed, the worst depression of my life, like worst depression ever. I wasn't really talking to my family like that because I just felt like the things I needed to heal from was things I went through, with from my family, and I needed some time to process, and to truly heal and get over that. So I wasn't really talking to anybody, and I was talking to my auntie like literally like every single day. There was not like a day that went by that I did not FaceTime her in the morning and we talked and we yapped and we are like, okay, cool, like this is what we got to do. Woo woo, like you got this, keep going. Like I know like things are hard, like things are tough, like you're trying to do the impossible, you're trying to break out of habits, you're trying to heal, you're trying to break patterns, everything. And one day I was looking at because I wanted to go back to school. I wanted to go to school, like go back to school, pursue a college education, and I didn't know what I wanted to study. So I thought it'd be smart to go on Disney's career website and scroll down and look at all the jobs, and whatever job got my attention, that's what I was going to study. So I could obviously go and pursue that career. And good thing on Disney's website, and a lot more careers should give you this tool. So if you go on Disney's website and you go on the careers and you click on the job application, like the job position and title, you could scroll down to the bottom and somewhere in that description it's going to tell you what what degrees you can have that will make you qualified for that position, which I think is fantastic because then it narrows it down like, okay, which route do I want to go to pursue this end all be all dream, you know? And I saw that and I was like, okay, I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to study I'm going to study, media communications because I want to do social media and marketing and everything for Disney. I want to work on PR branding for Disney. I want to be on the red carpets. I want to be at like social media events. I want to cover like all the new stuff that's coming for the company. This is it. I got it. Boom. This is what we're studying. I started school. I enrolled and everything. And then I saw that there was applications open for the Disney College program. And I called my auntie and I was like, hey, so I see that there's that. So I was scrolling on Disney's career website and there was applications open for the Disney College program. Do you think I should go? She said, why not? It's what you want to do. You want to be in Florida? Go for it. What's the worst that could happen? You move back home or you figure it out and you figure out how to stay and you stay. And like, that's like the jump starting point that launches off your career with your dream of always wanting to move to Florida. And I was like, you know what? You're right. So I applied. No one had knew. Like no one had knew. She was the only one who knew. And I kept it a secret until I got my answer, whether or not if I got accepted into the college program or not. And I applied, I got accepted, and then I told people in my family, and I was like, I'm gonna go. Like I'm chasing after this dream, and Then my car broke down. I didn't have no money to fix it because I didn't have a job. So I had to move and leave my car here back at home in Illinois, broken, undrivable really, for 6 months while I'm out trying to pursue like a dream of moving to Florida and not coming back. And I'm over here like, I'll think about it. I'll figure it out later. I'm like, that's the least of my worries. If I have to come back and get it, I'll come back and get it. All right. Moved to Florida, interned there for 6 months. Same thing happened. Came back. Wasn't able to extend my program. Wasn't able to get a permanent position with the company. So of course I had to come back home. Um, and then after that mental journey again of like, okay, man, like I was so close. Like once again, like why? Like how do I keep getting so close? Like, and then I have to keep coming back home. So I got a job. My dad had helped me get a job working in security at the company that he was working for at the time. And that was my first time I had ever had a job where like I truly loved what I was doing. Like I was respected. I felt appreciated. I loved how I looked in the mirror when I woke up and got dressed to go to work every single day. And it was fantastic. I had the greatest boss on the planet. Like we're like this, and things were great until they weren't. Meaning I didn't feel fulfilled. I didn't feel like it was my purpose. I didn't feel like I was doing anything. I just felt like I was just existing and not living in what I knew I was supposed to be doing, which is pursuing photography and creating content. And I also didn't want to live in Illinois anymore. Like I wanted to move away so bad. And I was working there for about I think it was like 9 months. It was a while. It was a little bit of time I was working there for and then I saw that there was permanent positions for photography for PhotoPass that opened up with Disney that they released. And when I tell you my heart dropped, like dropped. I was like, is this finally like is this actually happening? Is this really happening? Is the position that I want actually open? Is this like something I should do? Like, is this a test? Like, Lord, should I take this? Should I apply for this position or should I just let it go? And I applied. I had my interview and I got the job all within a matter of like 2 weeks. And when I tell you, I was so unprepared for that because I didn't think I was even going to get an interview, yet alone even get the job. Um, so when I did, my mom had just told me, she's like, you know what, if you get the job, you're going to go, you know, you want this. This is something you want to do. This is something you've been dreaming of since you were a child. Like, you're going to go. Like, this is it. This is the opportunity. Like, it's happening. And so I went, I moved to Florida in October of 2025, right before Halloween. And I felt like I had made it. I felt like everything was that I've been working towards, everything that had gone through, the times I had gone to Florida and came back was all worth it. My friends who I met on my last college program who were still there and got permanent positions and didn't have to go home, and I was the only one who still had to move back, and they were waiting for me, and everything was just perfectly aligned. I was like, okay, Lord, like this is my reward for being patient and not giving up on something that I felt like you were putting in me to do, you know? And man, was I so wrong. So wrong. I could not have been any more wrong because I got there and I loved parts about being there. I loved being able to go to the park whenever I wanted. I loved creating content. I loved the life of waking up and like I went to the pool every day and went to the hot tub every single night and like the weather was nice and everything, but I I hated every bit of holding that camera and wearing that PhotoPass costume. Like I'm just gonna be so real. Like I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. Like I'm so grateful that I got the opportunity. I'm so grateful that they gave me the job and they believed in me and took a chance on me, but I hated every single part of being back like in that same position of just being a PhotoPass photographer, taking the same photos every single day, doing the same spiel for every single family, trying to be like the best I could be and still not being seen, still being looked past and still feeling unfulfilled. Like to the point where I was just mentally exhausted every single day. I was once again like depressed. I was broke, dead broke. I took a pay cut to go chase after a dream. And let me tell you, it was not great. Dead broke, bank account either in the negative every single week or just had no money until I got paid again at all. And like, thank God for my parents, because if I didn't have like if I didn't have my parents like to be able to like help support me, and like they didn't have the means to be able to support me, I don't know, like I wouldn't have made it through. Like I would not have made it through. I barely would have ate. I would have been eating like fast food every single day because it was the cheapest thing I probably could have afforded, or literally chicken and rice, bland, like literally that's it. I would not have like made it through if my mom did not help me get my groceries and my dad didn't help me, pay a little bit on like my bills that I needed some help like paying, because I wasn't making any money. And then that was the real eye opener for me. I was like, why are there so many people in the same position and they're okay with it? Like, and they just, and that's just how it goes. Like, they're just okay with the fact that like they go to work every single day and like they either have to have a whole bunch of roommates just to like survive to get by, or they just know that they may have to work like another job on top of like working full time at Disney just to survive and like get through. Like, I was like, this isn't for me. And I started to really not like what I was doing. And I felt like I just couldn't get settled in. I felt like I was just not like supposed to be there. And I found more enjoyment in creating content outside of when I had to be at work, and taking photos when I wasn't at work more than when I was at work, to the point where I was like, if I'm liking this more from a free standpoint and a non employed standpoint, then like, what am I doing? That's my answer right there. And the Lord showed me some of the most craziest experiences. Like, I photographed Jordan Sparks, I photographed The Fray, I photographed some amazing singers who sing on Broadway for Disney on Broadway, and got recognized by some people who I would have never thought I would have got recognized for. My content got recognized by Disney Parks, liked and commented. Pixar liked and commented on a video that I made for the release of Disney's Pixar's Hoppers. A fantastic movie. My photos got reposted to Disney on Broadway's Instagram account by me meeting an amazing woman who works the social media account for Disney on Broadway, and saw me taking photos, and we were interacting and connecting, and I didn't even know that's what she did until afterwards. And then she said she loved my photos, and the artist who I took photos for followed me back on Instagram and said she loves my photos and loves just seeing my journey, and she's so glad that we like got to connect, and I'll be following along like your journey and everything. And just fantastic experiences. And like, what that unlocked in me was, my gifts are so much bigger than the space that I'm in, and something has to change. I'm either gonna be teeter-tottering back and forth between trying to be seen in a space that I'm never gonna be seen in, or I can let this go and be so grateful and be so thankful that this happened, and come on over here and step into what I ultimately have been praying for and wanting to step into, which is becoming a full-time photographer and photographing these amazing experiences. And I think there was a great lesson in that the Lord had showed me, was you always had the talents and the gifts to be in this space. You thought that you needed these people over here to get you there, and you never did. And I think that was the most heartbreaking, but the most rewarding experience on the planet, was for me realizing that working for Disney was never going to get me where I wanted to be, with getting me any of those experiences, meaning like I didn't get it from being seen working at Disney. I got it from working for Disney and taking advantage of me being able to do certain things for free and using that to be like, okay, I'm going to just bring my camera and photograph on my free time at the park all the time. And look where it got me, you know? So it's like in the same sense, I'm so thankful for Disney, but I'm also very thankful that I saw what I saw and chose to turn a negative into a positive and ran with it to the point where like that's the real dream, you know? And I made the decision to move back home so I could be financially stable, and so I could chase after a dream, you know? Like I think it's this has been years in the making of me wanting to be a great photographer and work for myself, and never knew what lane I was gonna take with it or how it was gonna work out or when I was gonna have the confidence to even get there. And I think all the times that I've gone back and forth from Disney has every time has catapulted me and given me the confidence to like just do great things. And especially this last time I went, that shot my confidence through the roof of me being like, you know what, like I can do this, you know. I am a great photographer. I'm a great content creator. I have like a real gift and like I saw it, you know. Sometimes we are born with fantastic gifts and sometimes we don't see it, you know. We don't see it. Someone can tell you all the time you're born for great things. You're a great photographer, you're a great cook, you're great this and that, but like until you physically see it or go through something where like your visibility is like given back to you and like appreciated and respected and like you know you're not gonna see it, you're not gonna like believe that that's like what you're like meant to do, you know. And so with this series being called I Moved Back Home to Chase After My Dream Life, like I truly am. Like I moved back home. I've only been home for 3 weeks and I've secured media passes for this summer to photograph some summer festivals. I'm pitching myself to photograph Demi Lovato when she comes here in May. Fingers crossed, praying that that door opens. I'm traveling to California to go do some stuff with Disney in August, and I'm putting myself out there more. I have a brand collaboration with a company in Chicago, which we'll talk about more of that. We'll talk more about that on the next episode. Um, and it's only been 3 weeks, and like I feel so great. Like I feel like I'm walking into that full entrepreneur like footsteps. Like, yes, I have a job and like my 9 to 5, and that's gonna provide me to do so much more than I was able to do at all like when I was living in Florida. And I'm back home with my family, and I get to have the support of my mom. I have the support of like my sisters, my dad. I get to see my nephew. I'm back at the gym. Like I'm getting my health in order. I'm getting my mind right. I'm building my brand so that the Lord can see that I'm taking this serious and that I want it, you know? And one thing is like if you're gonna pray for something, you have to make space for the Lord to answer that prayer. And when I was in Florida, there was no space for those prayers to be answered at a full capacity. And it's just been great. I've only been home for 3 weeks and such amazing things have happened. And yeah, I just want to be full transparent and honest about this journey. And this is my first real raw video being back like on YouTube. And I'm so excited for this series called I Moved Back Home to Chase After My Dream Life. And we're going after it full speed ahead. Like I don't care if I gotta lose sleep. I don't care what I gotta do because I feel it in my heart and my soul that this is what I was meant to do. And I have a delusional dream that by the end of this year, I will be able to quit my job and work as a full time photographer and content creator. And the Lord will provide. The Lord will answer delusional prayers because following Christ and following the path that God has laid out for you takes delusional faith. It doesn't take playing it safe. It doesn't take sitting back and waiting. It takes going out there and acting as if you already have it and letting the Lord see that and letting Him do the rest of the work. And you just keep trusting and trusting and trusting that I'm one more day closer. I'm one more day closer. I'm one more job closer. I'm one more opportunity closer. I'm one more client closer. I'm one more video closer to where you're supposed to be, you know? And like I know that I'm not meant for a normal 9 to 5 job, and I have such creative gifts with creating content, taking photography, taking amazing photos, recording podcasts, producing podcasts, which I will, talk more about that later, and producing things and creating content for other people, and just giving back and being such a great light to everyone in this world, and photographing the world and recording the world through the eyes of how I see it, and how the beautiful lens of how I see it. And there's just so much, like I want to do. There's so much that's going to get done this year, and I'm so excited. So thank you for everyone who has followed along this journey. I love you guys like so much. Like, the ones who have like seen me from the very beginning and growing all the way to today. Like, it's just crazy. And for the ones who are going to see this video for the first time and be like, oh my God, I resonate with his story, please subscribe, follow along this amazing journey, and message me, reach out to me. I will give you any advice that you need. I'll be there to support you in any capacity. I'll push you, and let's do it. 2026 is, we are making our dream lives come true. That's all I got for you guys. Have a blessed day, and stay tuned for another video. Peace.